Yeah, what's up everybody? It's Revan. You know who it is. I'm Kendall Gill on the New Jersey Nets. He's Derek Coleman looking like... Are you still here with me, Kojak?
Yeah.
Okay, I get it. You stood still a little bit for a minute and I got nervous he was disconnected again, man. You've been leaving me out here, bro. Leaving me out here all alone in the cold to fend for myself, and I'm prepared. I'm like, I'll take him on, and also it's all game over.
Yeah.
He's Derek Coleman. I'm Kendall Gill, and guess what, folks? I have a story for you. I have a story for you. Now, Kojak actually doesn't know this story, as he usually doesn't know what I'm about to walk him into. But I randomly thought of this last night. I started dying laughing. I'm like, okay, here's the thing. It's a move that I've been doing since I was like a kid, and I still do today. But let's see, how do I break this down? All right, here, check this out, bro. Remember when you played at the arcade with your friends, right?
Yeah.
You're at the arcade, and we used to play NBA Jam, and then play 4 players. So you can all enter your quarters, and you can play with 4 people, like me, you, and 2 strangers we don't know. We can kick their ass. You know? It's good times. But did you know, have you ever seen me do the actual, at the arcade, right? So in physical form, the actual, when I used to physically juke people at the arcade?
Okay, familiar.
I would physically juke somebody out in person while playing the game. Now, how did... now, what is it you guys are... What am I talking about? How did I do it? I'm like, fake out! And I would get them. Oh, man, this is how you do it, dude. It's something I figured out. It's something I still use today. Now, I'm going to use NBA Jam as an example because it's an easy example to use. All right, so if you're playing NBA Jam, and it's me and you, and we're, like, up against 2 kids, and we're at the arcade, right? 2 kids we do not know. So on the NBA Jam arcade game, you have your joystick, and you have 3 buttons. You have shoot, you have pass, and you have turbo, right? And when to use turbo is you don't press turbo, you don't tap turbo, you press turbo to use your said turbo, you know? But tapping it doesn't do anything. You know what I mean? So I would use it like a fake button. So for example, we're playing the game. You're immersed in the game, just like we're doing right here, right now. But we're at the physical arcade. He's Derek Coleman. I'm Kendall Gill. We're playing against these 2 dudes. They're right next to us. We don't know these kids. And then you pass it to me like in the corner. You know what I mean? You pass it to me in the corner for a 3. And instead of shooting the 3, I would go like this. I'd tap turbo and go... You know what happened? They would jump every time. They would jump every time. And then I go, oh, bye. And I walk in there and dunk it and be dying laughing, doing what I always do. You know, that's just classic me. Now, here's the thing. Think about it, folks. Think about this. Think about being the kids that's next to us that just happened to. You're playing the game, right? You're trying to win the game, just like we are right now. You're immersed in the game. It's like, I'm Kendall Gill off the backboard. This is me right here. Right? You don't want to get juked. You don't want to get faked. So you're playing the game. And then this dude gets a pass in the corner, and in your ear you hear him going, and it fucking fakes you out. It's like it pulls you out of the game. You know, oh my gosh, Kojak, my dude, no! Anyways, to make the story short, it pulls you out of the immersion of the game, and you're like, what the heck? And as you totally get robbed, and it like pulls you out of the game mentally. Get up there, Kojak. Okay. It's just, it's the funniest thing. It is the funniest thing to do that to kids online. I've been doing it not online, in real life. Sorry, I'm just tripping that my dude, he's still out here. Okay, cool. So that's the story, and what I would do, I would tap the button and fake the crap out of them, and they would be like, they get so bad, like, what the? I've even heard kids go, that's cheating, you can't do that, because they're so shook by it. They're like, you can't be just pushing buttons over here, just trying to, you know? I'm glad you're back, Kojak. All right, I'm wrapping this story up right now. Now, here's the thing. I'm using NBA Jam as an example, but because it was so effective, and I used to do this to kids at the arcade all the time, I just go on that turbo, and they'd always jump, and I'm like, and I go dunk it, and it pulls them out of the immersion of the game, like, man, what the? That was what? You know? So I still use that, you know? I would do that playing fighting games. Same thing. Tapping block doesn't do nothing if you're playing Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter. You know what I mean? Tapping block doesn't do anything. You're supposed to hold the block to block said punch or whatever. So in the middle of a fighting game, I'm like, ha 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 ha, and I go on that block button. They would go, huh! And I'm big. Same thing, man. I've been messing with people with that shit in real life my whole life. I hate to say it, I even did it to my own kids, man. I still do it today. Even though there's no arcades, you know, to do that juke move on somebody, they have to be physically in your presence to fake them out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like I remember me and my daughter, we were playing a game. I think it was A Way Out. Great game. And it was a 2-player game. And at the very end of the game, they made us kill each other, which was unexpected. We had to fight each other, and he who wins beats the game. So we were going at it, me and Hayden. We were just like, you know, we were going at it. We're like fighting, shooting guns. It's like a lot of gun work. You're like, and she's winning, and also it's like, oh, and the scene stops as it goes to a cutscene, and then it comes back from the cutscene, and now we're going into mayhem. You know what I mean? As it does, as we're in the middle of a fight. And then it goes to cutscene, and then all of a sudden it goes really turns it up a notch, right? So, but when it gets to that cutscene, it's like we're fighting, and it's in the cutscene, so it's like a dead silence other than the cutscene that's going on, as we're both like, we're trying to win, and then and then there I am during the cutscene. You know, buttons don't work; they don't matter. But we're battling each other, and she don't know that, so I'm like, on my controller, so she's like, what's he doing? I'm not doing nothing. I'm just messing with you, kid. Doing the button trick that I know. So there you go, folks. That's how you do it. That's how you physically juke somebody if you ever play somebody at a video game. You just tap on you mash on a button that's irrelevant. Trust me, it'll fake them out every time. That's how you do it, man. Isn't that hilarious?
Good story. Yeah, that'll work.
Okay, yeah, and I was wondering, at the end of this story, see, since I've known you since I was a kid, A, have you seen me do this to people, or B, have I done it to you? Do you know what I'm talking about, how I do that? I'm quite sure if you played video games with me, it was like all 4 of us in the house, we're all playing games. I'm 100% positive I've tried to do it to all y'all. And
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Yeah, and what's funny is it becomes even funnier like the 3rd time it happens, because eventually you catch on, you know? You can't, it doesn't work on me. If you ran up to me and went like this to shoot it, you went, because if you were to shoot it, you only press the button once. You know, if you were to hear it.
Yeah.
This doesn't mean nothing. And once you know that, you guys hear that? This. It doesn't mean nothing when you tap the button like that. But it jukes them out every time. And once you know that, me as a defender, if Kojak came up to me to shoot it and he goes, I would literally just start laughing, like, nice try, you know? It becomes hilarious. So you get juked the first time. What the? The second time, duh! And the 3rd time, and you just stand there like, no. It's like that 3rd time is even more funny. Because both players are like, okay, I see you. And dude, because don't think that I haven't had people try and do it back to me. Once you do something that awesome and you school somebody, like when I did the surprise on Kojak and then he did it to me.
Yeah, I was listening to the video and you're like, if I ever see you out there, Pistol, I'm coming for you. I'm like, what?
Yeah, man.
Wait, what did I do?
I just was watching our old video, and so we battled each other. You killed me, or I killed you, and I did the surprise and schooled you, and then we were battling each other, and then you did it to me, and then we hadn't played since. It was just left on that note where it's like, not only did you do it to me, you really did it to me. Like, you threw it off the backboard, the fireball, alley-oop, I forgot about that. Then you did the surprise. I'm like, you know what? I started to think about it, and I'm like, you know what? Even though he's my partner, the next time I see you, bro, you're on my list, Kojak. You're on my list. You're right. I slid you right about number 3 on my list. You know what I mean? And yes, folks, just so you know, I do have a list. And I will be always expressing that list, and don't you get on my list. So you know who's on my list? Who sits at number 1? Take a guess.
I'm gonna guess Omega Trojan.
Omega Trojan is number 1 on my list, and I don't hate you, Omega. I actually like you. That's my dude. That is a lunch every time I see you. Every time I see you, I'm like, woo. What do I say? I say the same thing. I'm like, I got Trojan. I play a whole nother game, and you guys will see if I ever see him, and he doesn't run, which he always does. But yeah, he's hard to catch. He's like a rare antelope. And so when I see him, my mouth waters. I'm like, there he goes. Shh, quiet. Don't scare him. He's going to run. He's going to run because he always does. Don't you run away. And every once in a while, he'll be like, fight, and he goes into the game. I'm like, uh-oh, he's mine. Romp, 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 romp. And I proceed with the feast. And I would love to, I will put that on, just so you guys know. I really will. Alright, anyways, I don't want this video to get too much longer, so I'm going to end it right here. Peace!